The Sicilian Four Knights by David Willis, a simple and sound defense to 1 e4. Here we discover that the author is a correspondence senior master, which I don't know what it means in terms of rating, because like everyone should know, I don't know if they use, like in ICCF, they use computers. So, and here it says he's also a master in over-the-board play and has been relying on the Sicilian Four Knights as his go-to defense against 1 e4 for years. For many years. Okay. This is the thing. This is a book that is practically filled with variation after variation after variation. Okay, often the evaluation it's given in informant style with one of these little symbols, and sometimes you don't know what it means. Okay, there are no demo games. For example, why he didn't put his games, since he has played it for so many years, to explain the ideas behind the moves and why he decided to play this Sicilian compared to others. And then, of course, the part that is very strange that I found in all publishers today is this is a defense for black. All the diagrams are oriented from the white side. Why? I don't know. Notice that today books are generally done using ChessBase. In ChessBase, I intend the ChessBase like 14, 17, I think we are at 17 now. It takes less than a minute to orient all the diagrams from the black side if one is writing about the black defense. So I would have preferred some model games. I would have preferred the diagrams to be oriented from black side. Why some model games? Again, because I cannot remember all this variation. But I will give you an example just to understand and see if you can, because maybe you are better than me. Or maybe this book has been, let's say, dedicated to master level players, and that's why there are all the informant symbol as an evaluation. That's a possibility, okay? Okay, I will begin showing you chapter 1, e4, c5, knight f3, e6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, knight c6, and knight b5. Okay, so this is white's most popular 6 move. It attacks the dark squares in black's position and threatens 7 bishop f4, furthering the attack. The main line is with bishop b4, a3, bishop takes c3, knight takes c3, d5, e takes d5, e takes d5, bishop d3, castle, castle, d4, knight e2, bishop g4. This position is examined in sections 11, 12, and 13. The many side variations of this line are examined in section 1 through 10. Okay. Here there is a long list of sections, and now there is an overview that was after move 6. So I will return back to that, okay? Just a second that I set up the board. Okay, now we are at the beginning. This is a good thing. The book continues to show us the overview, showing us all the moves to play, because honestly, I don't remember them. Sorry. E4, C5, knight F3, E6, D4, C takes D4, knight takes D4, knight F6, knight C3, knight C6, knight D, B5. And here black has three pliable replies. D6, he says, leave the Sicilian Four Knights and transposes to the Sveshnikov after bishop F4, E5, and bishop G5. Good books are available for those interested in this popular defense. Okay. Now there should be bishop C5 is sometimes played. It prefers black's strong bishop, but grants white a free hand to attack black's dark clear with either knight d6 or bishop f4. It is covered in section 1. And then there is the fourth one, that is 6 bishop b4 is standard. It counterattacks by threatening knight takes e4. It covered in sections 2 through 13. Other 6 move replies are bad. d5 is bad. Why? Because, and here there is a line which comes from Zalansky 1D Budapest 2020, in which after 2 or 3 moves, white is better. And then another move that seems natural is 6, but it says it's bad. And it's bad because there is knight d6, bishop takes d6, queen takes d6, queen e7, and bishop f4. This was played between Kazhdan, that was an American champion, and Vidmar in Prague 1931. And the evaluation here, it's white is better. Okay? So you need to understand why white is better. And so eventually one could use a computer, I don't know, to understand the evaluation. Okay? Now, I will return back to the initial position because I'm trying to give you a little overview of chapter 1 till the end of the fourth part, that are just 12 moves. Okay? And then again, the book is thick, it's more than 200 pages of theory with a lot of variation, and so you need to check it out eventually, if because you can use this book maybe for correspondence games, maybe. Okay, we are back in the initial position. I hope that you start to memorize the moves, so you can help me out. Knight f3, e6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, knight c6. So this probably is the 4 knights. Knight b5. And here it continues with bishop b4 and a3. White forces black to give up his strong dark square bishop for a knight. This will leave white with the powerful advantage of the 2 bishops in an open position. Wow, great. But this cost white time. This loss of time was a big problem for GM Grandmaster Sigbert Tarrasch, who had bad things to say about 7a3 back in 1901 in Deutsches Pochenschach. He said, I'm indignant that such masters as Pillsbury and more Marco should employ this idiotic move. What would be said if a player of white offered to his opponent after his 6th move to take off the board by agreement the black king bishop and the knight on the fifth. Okay, Tarash did not appreciate the compensating benefit to white of eliminating black's strong Darkspear bishop. White has a three less popular alternative to 7a3. One is knight d6, which is innocuous, it says, after king e7. White has knight takes c8 or bishop f4, and black can easily achieve equality in either line, c section 2. Yeah, I'm sure everybody loves to have a king in the center and to lose the chance to castle. It's great. Okay, let's go back. Then there is a bishop g5. Reaches a position that can also be reached in the 6 bishop g5 variation after blah blah blah. So it's a transposition. And then there is 7 bishop f4 is the strongest of white's less popular alternative. White sacrifices easy pawn, c section 3. Okay, we will see section 3. Okay, so he played this one, okay, a3, after which there is bishop takes c3, knight takes c3, d5, okay, and here there is a diagram. Black occasionally tries castling, either forgetting the normal sequence or perhaps wanting to confuse white. More often than not, black skates by, and the game transposes to another line, and here there is another line that he gives between two players that played it in 2005. He takes d5. A respectable sideline once played by Fischer is 9 bishop d3. So Fischer played bishop d3. This would be an interesting game to see, probably, right? Okay, he takes d5. He takes d5. And here there is another diagram. The weaker option is 9 knight takes d5, offering an exchange of knights. See section 5. Now bishop d3, and here there are all the possible alternatives that you can see to bishop d3, which are bishop g5, bishop e2, bishop f4, queen e2, and so you have all these possible alternatives, okay? The book is thorough about this castle. Black occasionally tries to take advantage of white and castle king by playing d4, okay, and there is another big line. Castle, d4, black takes control of the center. Weaker are moves like bishop g4 and h6, which will be seen in section 8, okay? So d4, knight 2, another diagram. This retreat is white's only choice if you want to play for an advantage. The alternative is knight e4, which is treated in section 9. After knight e2, black's primary reply is 12 bishop g4, pinning white's knight. Alternatives are covered in section 10. This position is the principal test of the Sicilian Four Knights. White has the 2 bishops, black controls the center. Black has good prospect for equality if it keeps in mind the following. 1. Waste no time. This is especially important in an open position, such as this. Every move must count. 2. Don't play defensively, look for an alternative to a defensive move, such as rook a d8 or a 6. Don't move a pawn without good reason. And here explain why. Okay, here there are practically 2 pages of explanation of what black should do or what white will try to do. Okay, and then it follows obviously with all the possible moves by white, and so you will be able to check them out. Once more, this is the Sicilian Four Knights by David Willis, a book about this opening as a repertoire for black.